Breaking news! Yes, my friends, good news has just come straight from behind the scenes. The Baltimore Ravens may be on the verge of a major change, one that could completely reshape their offense and put them even closer to a Super Bowl. I'll tell you all about it. But before you do, make sure you've already hit the like button if you believe the Baltimore Ravens have the potential to make it to the next Super Bowl. If possible, write something like this: "Please, Lamar Jackson, help us make it to the Super Bowl." Now, I want to start by talking about this. A golden opportunity has just fallen into the Ravens' laps. An elite wide receiver who once trolled Ravens fans with an Edgar Allan Poe reference on Instagram, making everyone believe he was coming to Baltimore. Now that same receiver is back on the market, and this time, the Ravens have the chance to make it happen for real. We're talking about Devonte Adams. The star receiver, known for his elite route running and contested catching ability, is now a real option for Baltimore. Unlike last year, when rumors about Adams' availability fizzled, this time around the situation is different. The Baltimore Ravens have a rare chance to add a true number one receiver, someone who could instantly elevate an already dangerous offense to a whole new level. Think about it. The Ravens have Zay Flowers, a young, electric playmaker with elite quickness and route-running ability. They have Rashad Bateman, a solid route runner in his own right who just needs a breakout year. They have a strong tight end presence in Isaiah Likely, and while Mark Andrews' future remains uncertain, adding Adams could make that situation much easier to navigate. And let's not forget Derrick Henry, one of the NFL's most dominant running backs, who is already set to power Baltimore's ground attack. So why would adding Adams make so much sense? First, the Ravens' offense is finally wide receiver friendly. This isn't the run-heavy system of the past, where top receivers would avoid Baltimore like the plague. Under Todd Monken, the Ravens have evolved into a more balanced attack, utilizing wideouts effectively and giving them opportunities to make big plays. Last season, Lamar Jackson threw the ball at a high rate, showing an ability to develop chemistry with his pass catchers quicker than ever. Second, adding Adams wouldn't even be that complicated financially. The biggest roadblock in the past has always been the contract. How do you fit a high-priced receiver under the cap? But with the Jets expected to release him, the Ravens could sign Adams on their terms. No need to take on an old contract or worry about a massive cap hit. They can structure a deal that works for both sides, something that's been a staple of how Baltimore does business. And, let's be honest, who's Baltimore really paying at wide receiver right now? Bateman's on a cheap second contract. Flowers is still on his rookie deal. Tylan Wallace and Deontay Hardy aren't commanding big salaries. Even at tight end, Mark Andrews is the only major financial commitment, and his future remains a question mark. So there's room for Adams. But does he still have it? Adams isn't the same player he was in Green Bay, where he dominated with Aaron Rodgers, but he's still a legitimate threat. His route running is elite. His ability to win contested catches remains dangerous. He's the type of receiver who could demand double coverage, opening things up for everyone else on the field. Imagine a Ravens offense where defenses have to account for Zay Flowers' speed, Bateman's route running, and Adams' physicality all at once, not to mention Derrick Henry forcing teams to stack the box. It would be a nightmare to defend. And here's the final piece. If the Ravens want to make this move, now is the time.
Last year, Baltimore was one game away from the Super Bowl. They had the best record in the AFC. Their defense was elite, but when it came time to go head-to-head with Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, they simply didn't have enough firepower. The passing game struggled when it mattered most. And now, they have a chance to fix that. So Ravens fans, what do you think? Should Baltimore go all in for Devonte Adams and build the most complete offense in franchise history? Or should they focus their resources elsewhere? Let me know in the comments. There's something we need to talk about when it comes to this potential move for Devonte Adams, because, let's be real, it's not just about adding another wide receiver. It's about building an offensive powerhouse that can go toe-to-toe with the best teams in the league. It's about finishing the job that fell short last season. And most importantly, it's about giving Lamar Jackson everything he needs to succeed at the highest level. We've seen what happens when teams surround their elite quarterbacks with true number one receivers. Look at what Buffalo did with Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs. It took Allen from a promising talent to an MVP candidate overnight. Look at Philadelphia adding A.J. Brown for Jalen Hurts, giving the Eagles' offense the explosion it needed. Look at Kansas City when they had Tyreek Hill, a dynamic weapon who made Mahomes nearly unstoppable. The common denominator? A game-changing wide receiver who can win matchups and tilt the field in his team's favor. The Ravens have never really given Lamar that. Sure, they've invested in the position more recently. Zay Flowers was a fantastic pick, Rashad Bateman has upside, and they even went after Odell Beckham Jr. last year. but they've never truly had that certified, proven, elite veteran receiver in his prime who can change a game single-handedly. That's what Devonte Adams is. That's what he could bring to Baltimore. And here's the best part. This would be the easiest big-name acquisition the Ravens have ever made. Think about what they had to do to get other star receivers in the past. Antoine Bolden had to trade for him. Steve Smith Sr. waited until he was cut. Odell Beckham Jr. paid him top dollar in free agency despite uncertainty. But with Adams, all the leverage is in Baltimore's hands. The Jets are expected to release him, which means no trade compensation, no giving up draft picks, and no messy contract situations. The Ravens would be free to sign him on their own terms, offering a deal that fits their cap situation. This is the type of move that real championship teams make. Now, let's address the elephant in the room, the offensive line. Some fans might say, wait, isn't O-line the bigger priority? And honestly, that's a fair argument. The Ravens could be looking at some major shakeups in the trenches. Ronnie Stanley's future is uncertain. The guard spots have some question marks, and they need to make sure Lamar stays protected. But guess what? You can fix the O-line and add a receiver at the same time. This isn't an either-or situation. Baltimore has shown they can develop offensive linemen. They can find underrated talent in the draft. They can coach guys up. But elite wide receivers don't grow on trees. You can't just coach up a Devonte Adams. He's either on your team or he's not. And if the Ravens pass on this opportunity, they might never get another shot at a receiver of this caliber for Lamar. And let's be honest, this is a wide-open Super Bowl window. Last season, Baltimore had the best record in the AFC. They dominated elite teams. They crushed the 49ers. They embarrassed the Dolphins. And they looked like the most complete team in football for most of the year. But when the playoffs hit, the offense stalled. Lamar was left trying to do too much on his own. And that's where having a true, dominant number one receiver makes all the difference. Imagine this offense lining up in Week 1 next season. Lamar Jackson at quarterback. Derrick Henry in the backfield, forcing defenses to load the box. Zay Flowers stretching the field with his speed. Rashad Bateman working intermediate routes. Devonte Adams as the X-receiver, winning one-on-one matchups. Isaiah likely creating mismatches at tight end. How do you defend that? How do you stop it? This is a Ravens team that finally has the chance to build an offensive juggernaut. A team that can beat you in the air just as easily as it can on the ground. A team that can impose its will in every way possible. And if the Ravens truly want to win now, if they truly want to take advantage of Lamar's prime, this is the move that needs to happen. So, Ravens fans, I'll leave you with this. Do you want to run it back with the same roster and hope for a different result? Or do you want to go all in and build a Super Bowl offense? Let me know what you think in the comments. Would you sign Devonte Adams? Would you go all in on an offensive arms race? Or do you think Baltimore should take another route? Let's talk about it. Yes, Ravens fans, Devonte Adams could be the missing piece to take this offense to the next level. Will the Ravens make the move? Should they? Let me know in the comments. And while you're at it, check out this video right here for more Ravens offseason moves that could shake up the league. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. See you in the next one. Let's talk Ravens football. Video on the screen now.